Say good morning, everyone. It is Christmas Eve, and I hope that you're all tracking well and you're checking in on yourself. Someone raised a comment on the last post I did in relation to triggers. You know what? I'm going to say something controversial here. I'm not a big fan of the word triggers. For me, I like to look at it as a moment of impact for you. So something's happened, and that can be anywhere from having a conflict with someone, from something happened in a past or a trauma that has resurfaced, pretty much. And it usually stems from our values, that we have, of how we live our life, how we go about our own actions, and what we truly believe in is comes with us, and that's what we essentially call our values. So when we talk about triggers, and people put these little, put a post up, and then they'll go trigger warning, it really impacts me because I find that you're preparing someone, don't go in there because it's really bad. Now, to me, I think you're setting someone up to fail, because it's like a lot of parents that talk to me about, but I'm trying to prepare the external environment for my child. But you can't change things that are going on externally. There are things that happen, right? There are good stuff and there are lots of bad stuff as well, and it's finding that balance. But what you can prepare your child is the coping mechanisms to cope with things that happen, to talk about what's going on, allowing them to process what's important to them, because we all have different personality traits. So we're all very different on how we process things. It's the iceberg effect. It's what's tip of the surface is what I allow you to see. It's what you may see and make your own judgment based on your own underneath the iceberg. But really, it's the stuff underneath that you don't see. You don't know what's going on for people. That is where your values are. That is where your experience, your knowledge, all your bits and darker secrets are in there. And to me, when people go in and have a conversation, they don't go in and realize how this could impact this person. Now, you could have best intentions to say things and you can still impact that person. So, you know what I mean? You can't walk around, in cotton wool wrapped up every day going, well, if I say this, I'm going to offend someone, or if I say this, because the chances are you probably will. Now, the deeper thing, if you really want to check in who you are, is becoming self-aware. Now, a lot of people aren't willing to do that. They pretty much go along their whole life going, impacting people as they go along. It's like a firing line. I see that in my current daytime job and the work that I do, is that someone had a conversation and made you feel really bad, and then you hold on to that. But you know what? Let's go further back than that. That person's moved on, but you haven't. And that is when you, as that person, cannot control how that person makes you feel. Only you do. Don't get me wrong. There's no, and I was trying to explain this the other day to, a group of people that, you can go to a funeral and you feel sad, and that's the feelings you experience, and that's perfectly, okay. It's like if you felt angry that that person's gone, that's okay too. It's what we then choose to do with that, and if we hold on to that, we've got to allow to go, acknowledge it. Yeah, you know what? I'm feeling pretty angry, or yeah, I'm feeling really upset, and allow that emotion to come through if you need to. But what actually happens is people hold on to that and say that Renee Vincent, she made me cranky. Renee Vincent made me happy. Renee Vincent, no. Maybe what I did as a result of my own actions impacted you, but you control how you actually react. And this is why I always get on, my page and always talk about checking in with yourself. Like I don't just throw that word out there for a reason. Check in with how you're going, because this time of the year, it's Christmas Eve. We are all exhausted. We are all tired. Our kids are tired. Everyone's, and that's why I say the bucket, but everyone feels quite full of stuff, right? It's been a really, really big year for a lot of people. There's when I write this one off and move into 2020, when they don't actually reflect back and think, what was 2019 for me? Personally for me, I did so much growth. I have done so much. in my counselling business, my degree, working with family drug support. And, you know, it's been hard, and I'm now feeling it because I'm exhausted. And I'm going to take this opportunity to now rest for a while, hence why I'm doing a video. But what I do want to do is pass on my knowledge, you know, out there, so that it's food for thought for yourself. So I don't like the word trigger, as I've just already said in this video. For me, where especially with our children, we're setting them up to fail, because don't go there. You know, the job I do during the day, if I had young people that came in saying that, oh, I can't do that, it's a trigger, I'd go, but you have no choice, that's your job, you've got to do that. So this is what I'm saying, you cannot avoid some of those things. And even traumatic events and traumatic experiences, don't get me wrong, you know, they exist, they happen. But how do you slowly learn to process that and allow it to come to the surface? And it could be in that unconscious mind that we've got to bring into the conscious and start to move forward with that. That's usually the challenge of therapy. But I'm not here to talk about that therapy. What I'm here to talk about, if you're at a point of balance where you do feel okay, you know, and you get that pissed off because someone took your car spot and this happened and that happened, and, you know, just take a moment just to check in with yourself and be thankful for what you have. Sometimes, hey, Kaiser, as he's going around the back. But I think that moment of just being very, you know, genuine about who you are and genuine about your feelings, and, you know, and having some gratitude for what you already have and what things you can do to help others. You know, the greatest gift you can actually give is actually have, you know, acts, I can't even speak, of kindness. You know, it's just a beautiful thing that you can do. Okay, so enjoy Christmas Eve, and remember about triggers. If that is happening to you, an impact, look into it. Have a Merry Christmas.